Hello, welcome back. Today we got UFC Fight Night, Oliveira versus Bautista predictions, and this ain't the craziest card of all time, so I'm not gonna try to give you like guys in half an hour breakdown of all these fights. I'm really gonna speed run this shit. I'm not gonna lie, and to help me do that, I got a magic 8 ball. With this magic 8 ball, help me and be truthful with this video. What? All right, it doesn't show, but when I said it straight, it says cannot predict now. So, all right, sounds pretty truthful to me. All right, we'll go into the first fight. Claudia Saigula versus Priscilla Cachoeira. Priscilla Cachoeira. Cachoeira. I've seen her fight a couple times. I saw her get put to sleep, and I saw her knock someone out on watching prelims, like just seeing her. Claudia Saigula, she's bad, obviously. She's from Poland. Um, you know, Magic 8 ball. Should I go with Claudia Saigula by decision? Yes or no? What does it say? What does it say? Ask again later. So now I have to give you a fucking breakdown. I think Claudia Saigula is just gonna smudge her way into a decision. She might be able to have the back, work off the back, and maybe find a submission. But I don't even know if I can really if I would put money on that. So I don't know. But yeah, I'm just gonna go Claudia Saigula by decision. Maybe a bunch of failed sub attempts, or maybe she finds a submission, like I said. Second fight of the night, Muin Gafarov versus Jacob Wicklats. Jacob Wicklats. The only fight I ever seen of Jacob Wicklats is when he fought Patchy Mix, and he basically smudged him and won. Muin Gafarov. I feel like I remember seeing him one time, but I don't think I was taken back by his performance. His last fights, he lost against Nakamura, whatever that dude's name is, that Japanese looking dude. He won by decision. And then he lost to Said Nurmagomedov 2 fights ago, and then he won. Whatever. Listen. I'm going Jacob Wicklats. Jacob Wicklats. Am I making the wrong decision going Jacob Wicklats by submission? My sources say no. That's what the 8 ball says. So Jacob Wicklats by submission. Back-to-back Poland dubs. Poland bringing it home tonight. Third fight on the card, Wang Kong versus Eduarda Mora. As much as I want Wang Kong just to shine because, she actually can get finishes and is very entertaining. Looks like a mini, I don't want to say a mini Zhang Weili, but you know what I mean. Because, Zhang Weili's significantly better, but I don't know, seeing her get subs, seeing her lose really just kind of takes away aura, I'm not going to lie. But I'm going to click on Wang Kong here, go to her last couple fights, get a little recap. She got submitted 3 fights ago, won by decision 2 fights ago against not Bruno Brazil, who's fighting later on the card, and she won her last fight against Da Silva. So she's coming in with some sort of motion, I guess. But Eduarda Mora, who's 12-1, is coming off 2 wins by decision, and her third to last fight was a loss by split decision. Whatever. Listen, let's go back here to the athletes. Win by. It's saying Wang Kong 50% decision. Listen, 8 ball. Is Wang Kong gonna win by decision? Finish. You know what I'm saying? By decision. Don't count on it. Listen, dude, I don't make the rules, bro. Fuck, it doesn't show up every time I want to. I said don't count on it. So we're gonna go Eduarda Mora winning by decision here. The 8 ball spoke. Next fight, Said Nurmagomedov versus Javid Basharat. I'm gonna go Said Nurmagomedov by. I could see a finish here. I'm not gonna lie. I could see him finishing Javid. I don't know if it's by submission or whatever, but I just don't really ever rely on Javid Basharat. He's definitely the worst brother, or the less better brother, or whatever. You know what I mean? But 8 ball. Is Said Nurmagomedov gonna get a finish here? Come on, balance out. They say, or the 8 ball says, as I see it, yes. So Said Nurmagomedov by a finish here. If I'm gonna have to do a round, I'm gonna predict in the second round. They might have a little scrappy first round, or maybe a pretty shitty technical, but too technical to where they're playing distance and then running from each other type of first round. And then maybe Saeed will find the sub, or maybe he'll, find TKO. But I'm gonna go by Saeed Nurmagomedov, second round submission. Bruna Brazil versus Ketlin Souza. I really don't give a fuck. So we're gonna go with Bruna Brazil. Will she win by flatline KO? It says it is certain. So we're gonna go Bruna Brazil by flatline KO. Not the best prediction probably, but the 8 ball has spoke. So we're gonna leave it up to the 8 ball. And these next two fights are pretty funny. We got Nico Price versus Nikolai Varetnikov. I can never bet on Nico to do anything, so I'm just gonna go Nikolai Varetnikov by KO. Or not KO. I'm just gonna have him winning by decision. Nico Price can sort low-key survive, but he's just pretty shit. Am I right with that Magic 8 ball? But for Nikolai Varetnikov by decision here. 8 ball says, as I see it, yes. So that's that one. In the next funny fight, we got Alex Moreno versus Daniil Dochenko. And Alex Moreno, who is just fucking garbage. I'm gonna go Daniil Dochenko by honestly first or second round KO. Am I right or am I wrong, Magic 8 ball? Speak. It says don't count on it. Will Alex Moreno shock the world? I don't know. The 8 ball has spoke. But I'm still going to stand on business. Sorry, 8 ball. Daniil Donchenko by first or second round KO. Let's see if I'm wrong. Now we go to the main card. Justin Jacoby versus Julius Walker. I'm always going to bet on Dustin Jacoby, bro. He's lost, whatever. But I'm going to go with him getting in the KO here, finding it done in the first round. I want to say first round, but I don't know. Let me look at the odds here on this fight. Listen, they're saying this is a kind of a pick 'em. Not going to lie, but I'm still going to stand on business with Dustin Jacoby winning by first round KO. And that's it. Am I tripping or not, 8 ball? Damn, it says ask me later. I don't know. I'm still standing on business, though. 8 ball has spoke. Next fight, Gene Matsumoto versus Farid Basharat. This is actually going to be a scrap, not going to lie. It's going to be a nice high-paced scrap. If I had to pick one, I'm going to pick... I'm going to pick Basharat by decision. Farid Basharat by decision. Am I tripping, 8 ball? 8 ball. Oh. Ooh, that's big low-key. It literally said, as I see it, yes, and then it switched to ask me later. So I don't think I'm tripping. I think Farid Basharat will get the first round finish. Not first round. I think decision. Sorry, that's what I said. I'm tripping. Yeah, grappling, takedown. Yeah, it's pretty even. Yeah, Basharat decision. All right. Marc-Andre Barrios versus Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. Listen, should I stand on business with Poland and ride with Poland and say they're gonna go 3-0 and bring it all home, or is Marc-Andre Barrios gonna spoil the show? I think I have to ride with the Poland wave. I'm not gonna lie. Am I tripping, 8 ball? Is Poland gonna bring it home? It says without a doubt, Poland's gonna bring it home. So let's just look at the the odds here. Win by blah blah blah. Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. Listen, someone's getting KO'd. Not gonna lie. And some a part of me wants to say that just to get off my chest that Mikhail could get finished here. I don't know, but I'm gonna go Mikhail Oleksiejczuk by some sort of KO. Probably in the second or third round. I could see this being a bit of a scrap, some damage being done. I could see Mikhail's eyes swelling up a little bit. But I just don't see too much happening for Marc-Andre Barrios unless Mikhail somehow just gets some damage adding up on him, which I really don't see, like I said, but it is what it is. But Mikhail Oleksiejczuk by second or third round finish. Featured fight of this card, Jailton Almeida versus Rizvan Guniev. The terrorist of the sport, Jailton Almeida, lost his last fight against Alexander Volkov by, low-key robbery, but we're not going to call it that because Alexander Volkov was staying busy off of his back, punching him in his face. Staying busy, like I said. Rizvan Guniev does actually have, really good takedown defense, and we all saw his fight against Curtis Blades. He low-key did that shit to Curtis Blades, I'm not going to lie. He did lose because Curtis Blades, I'm pretty sure, won round 1 and 3, but it still is just damn, who's doing that to Curtis Blades for real? So, like I said, his takedown defense is pretty decent. And I think Jailton Almeida will have a hard time trying to work around that. So, I could see Rizvan Guniev winning by decision here. Just making it clear. Not even just making it clear, but working off that. Basically, I don't know. I don't know if I can really see him touching up Jelton Almeida for real, but I think he will just do what he needs to do. He's just a warrior at doing that. So I'm gonna go Riz Van Gunia by decision here in this heavyweight bout. Co-main event, terrorist of the sport again, Amir Albazi versus Kyoji Horiguchi. Listen, I am a fan of Kyoji just as much as you guys are, to where I want to see him do the impossible, come back in the flyweight division, win the belt after being out for almost 8 years, 9 years, whoever, whatever. But I just look at Amir Albazi's face and know he's about to fucking spoil that for everybody in this main or co-main event. I'm not gonna lie. You can just look at him. You know he's gonna I'm not even gonna sit here and like talk shit on Amir, bro. Like he's in a great position or whatever. His last fight he lost to Brandon Moreno, 17-2. That's pretty crazy. Koji, 35-5. Last fight off a win. I think Amir Albazi is gonna spoil the show here and beat him by decision. I don't see anybody getting a finish unless it's Kyoji, but I think Amir Albazi or Albazi, whatever you want to say, is unfortunately too solid. I think to let anything like that happen to him. And if anything, he's gonna lose by decision. But I think Amir Albazi is going to take it home right here. Let's hope the 8-ball's on our side. Is Amir Albazi going to beat Kyoji Horiguchi by decision and spoil the show for everybody going into 2026? It said ask again later. We're just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to lie. Ask again later. So maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. I want him to break, top 5. I want him to do what he does. I don't know if Amir Albazi is ranked top 5. Oh, he's number 6. He might as well break top 5 if he beats Kyoji in a, very crazy way. But not Kyoji, if Kyoji beats Amir. But like I said, there's just something about Amir that thinks he's going to spoil the show. And I can't help but project that onto you and, put that into reality. Manifest that a little bit, I'm sorry, but I can't help that feeling. Main event. Borderline could say terrorist of the sport, but I don't agree with that. Some people do. I don't. I fuck with Mario Bautista. Not gonna lie. Sorry. I fuck with him. But you know who I fuck with more? Vinicius Oliveira. Or Vinicius. I like Vinicius. It sounds cooler. I fuck with him way more. Not gonna lie. But the harsh reality of this fight is, will Vinicius Oliveira gas out before finding a finish, or will he lose by decision to Mario Bautista? I'm not saying Mario Bautista couldn't get a finish here. I don't know. I don't see him getting a finish here of any sort. I'm not going to lie. I do see him thugging it out into a decision. But, if we check the win by here, obviously it's 70% chance of being a KO compared to the 19% that Mario has for Vinicius here. 9% chance for a sub. But that's the thing is Vinicius' grappling is, I'm not going to say it's horrible, but it's not like his strong suit. Like, he's obviously a striker. Like, he obviously comes with crazy combos, power, good, just good striking IQ, for real, for real. That's why I fuck with Vinicius, and I really hope for, a good future for him, especially going into 2026. But Mario Bautista is a challenge, bro. He's a tough opponent, I'm not going to lie. Umar couldn't even finish him. Yes, Umar won by decision, but he dropped Umar with a knee. Listen, my final prediction here, and as much as I like Vinicius Oliveira, I do not see him finishing Mario Bautista. So being unbiased, even like I said, because I fuck with Vinicius Oliveira, I'm going Mario Bautista by decision here. I do not see him finishing him unless somehow Mario Bautista finds a submission. That's the only way I see him finishing him. Getting the back, getting the hooks in, rear naked choke, maybe finds like a Kimura, like say they get into a scramble, ends up in like side position, works a Kimura. Who knows? I don't. That's what I'm going to say. But let's the 8-ball for the main event. Will Mario Bautista win by decision? It says yes. So that's it for the predictions today. I don't really give a two fucks about this card. I mean, I do. Listen, I'm obviously going to watch it. I'm going to give you all the recap, blah, blah, blah. But just dead ass, I'm going to be at work watching these prelims. So if, you see me making up fight scenarios, just go with it. I'll definitely watch him back, but I hope my predictions are somewhat right. Magic 8-ball on my side today, so let's see if, the universe was right. But that's it. This is pretty quick. It just is what it is. Those are my predictions. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, thank you. Take care. Have a good day.